Looks like the red light's on, being 7:03 PM. We can begin our meeting of the October 23rd, 2018 Historical Commission Board meeting. Start. We did not have a September meeting. There was no business, and being the summer months, I just figured we would stay anything off till this meeting. And there isn't really much for this meeting either, but I will touch on some things that we had from August meeting. So the approval for minutes from our August meeting, the clerk has not submitted those in full, so we will get to those at our October.
They were too short to write.
Yeah, it was only a 14-minute meeting last time. Will be presented at November meeting. Hopefully, no big deal.
They will.
Okay, and there's no public forum or public hearing because there's no public in the room, and I don't have any correspondence from any of the public asking for any business information. So we'll go right to 4A, which is open discussion and updates. I'll start to my right, Mr. Clerk. Did you have anything that you wanted to make aware, address?
No, I don't.
That would be no. And Donna? Okay, so I only have a couple things. Donna, Manchog, I talked to Jen before we met tonight. I think if we can get together, I did find my certificate that I got from Boston.
I looked
Okay.
and I haven't found my digital copy yet.
Have not or have?
Haven't.
Okay.
That was a long while ago, and it might be on a little square disc.
Yeah, and I know that you said you had one a while back, so if not, I think we can come up with something, but the one they used for Sutton Center was the Putnam Memorial. You know,
Yes.
the well,
Yes.
the tree, it was a photograph from probably the late 19th century, early 20th
Yeah.
century.
It was, I think, maybe a reenactment they did up there.
It could have been. So,
I think it's great
Mhm.
because, it's not the birthplace
Yeah.
thing. It's different. I think, would look nicer on the wall than just a certificate with
Mhm.
that.
yeah. And if we can't get that prior print, maybe we do something with a picture of the mill, an old historic picture of the mill in the background or
Yeah,
something
that's
down there.
possible too.
For that historic area. So I did speak to Jen. She was kind of in a rush. She had to get out and attend another meeting. She never stops. But I told her that I will meet with her and we'll go over that. So you're taking those notes, Mr. Clerk. I don't have to, all right. Another thing that I wanted to
What
talk.
exactly is that in regards to?
Oh, that would be the certificates for the Historic District in Manchog. Each resident and store owner in that area gets a certificate stating that they've been accepted as an historic district by the National Register, correct?
Well,
Uh,
it's not mandatory.
Yeah, right, it's just,
But it's what we did for Sutton Center and West Sutton. And we also had like a little preservation fair on the common.
we did, and Donna mentioned that in the past, and Jen was into that too, but obviously the weather now is not gonna be accommodating. But we may not get to these till the spring anyway, so that may not be a
But
bad idea.
there's no reason why it couldn't be done inside.
Oh, that's true too.
You
Right.
know, I mean, if you have people that are interesting, they can just set up a table
We
and
had
talk to
vendors,
people.
people that could make historic house signs, just historic information, house, like restorers. There was a bunch of stuff there. It was
It
nice,
wasn't
actually.
huge,
Yeah, it was on the common, though. We had 20
Yeah.
vendors,
yeah.
so it was nice.
I would second use of the mill.
The mill, yeah.
Make it unique.
Okay, so just note that too, Mill. And I'll see what we can come up with that, because,
The good thing about the other picture, not that I'm advocating it for
Mm-hmm.
Manchog, just to keep in mind that when you look for something, is it had a lot of light background, so it was
Mhm.
easy to put text over it.
Mm-hmm. It did.
So-
It photoed well for the document.
So that,
Mm-hmm.
that and the Rufus Putnam connection was why it was chosen, but there are a billion man-chalk pictures you can certainly.
All right. So we addressed that. That was brought up in the August meeting because we talked about it in the July meeting, but you weren't present in August, but I still talked about it because I wanted to talk to Jen. Another thing that was mentioned in the August meeting was Tricentennial Park and maintenance thereof, and that there was some concern that it was starting to lack in that maintenance. I spoke to Jen, and ironically, she has a big part of personally maintaining that park. I guess she personally goes down there and makes sure that things get done. She does hands-on down there, and one of the issues is the monument base down there is starting to decay and maybe be undermined. So they're a little concerned at how they can fix it. And I think I have this, how she explained it to me, but she's had several people look at it, and the concern is they're not sure how they can fix it in place because it is a foundation issue or a footing issue.
Mhm.
So she's been kind of concentrating on that. But she's on top of it. She apologized. I said, that's not what we were looking for. We just kind of want to know what we could do to help facilitate it and if we had to do anything ourselves. So she's on top of it. I don't think anything's going to be done before the winter. But I think springtime we're going to have to somehow figure out. Maybe we should take a trip down one day, or you guys just go separately, check it out, because there is some expertise in the room that may look at it and say, I think we can try this and maybe inject some hydraulic cement with some pinning or straps around or something, and it might help. I don't know. Never know.
I'd recommend duct
I mean,
tape.
huh?
I recommend duct tape.
Duct tape, right. And you're in 4-H, so you guys can fix anything. All right.
Just put the kids on it.
So that was another one, man. Old business. Any other old business? Donna?
Any other news?
Old or new, we'll take. No? How about you,
No?
Mr. Clerk?
Nothing.
So I don't have anything for old or new business. However, this may be kind of new business. It's not really an announcement. It was a request by member Wally asking that somehow can we recognize the Pearson family? Let me just see if I have, nope. The Pearson family, I'm not sure, I think they're, man, I don't want to screw this up. I'm not sure what street they live on. But they're been in their house 100 years, their family, continuously. So he was wondering, as a historical commission, could we somehow recognize that in a lasting manner, you know, maybe present them with some certificate or do something. I mean, that's pretty neat. I mean, I've been in my house 22 years. I'm ready to get out of it. So to be in the house for 100 years, that's a long
How
time.
many generations is that?
Wally told me, and I don't remember. I thought he said 3, but I could be wrong. And please forgive me because I don't even remember their first name. I had it written down and I didn't have.
I
the note
should
with me.
know where it is, and
Hold on,
it's
I
not-
may have it. I may have that. Bear with me.
We could put their names forward to be the marshal of our new 4th of July parade.
Oh, I know, yeah, that's right too. I forgot about that.
That would be cool.
Right?
Yeah, can you note that?
Somebody has to be.
And we can present the certificate. at the
Yeah.
meeting.
So just keep that in mind as the 4 members present here, that maybe we can discuss an issue and come up with, solidify something within 2
It's not
meetings.
gonna be a surprise. This is televised. I'm just saying.
I think when you get a medal.
Well, I want you to note that I may have screwed that up, but the cable board does not edit or will not edit any meetings, so therefore, I think I'm in trouble if they watch this. But it's a good idea, anyway. No one will, yeah. Okay, so, but if you, maybe something, and they already probably know that this may be going on because Wally's had conversation with them, but I think that's outstanding town history. That's what makes this town so great, is that you got families that stay around for that many generations in 100 years. Hopefully the house doesn't need as much work as mine needed in 22 years, but, okay. So, Pearson family, 100 years in their house.
As clerk, I'll draft a
Really?
document and.
Oh, that would be outstanding.
To do what?
He'll draft a document.
That we can then, I think, probably take to the selectmen to have them sign.
Yeah, right, so,
We don't want a man-child picture on there, I don't think so.
right, this is good. Okay, and I think Wall would be happy with that. I'll explain that to him. Announcements, correspondence, I think that fell in that bracket, but I'm not quite sure. Mr. Clerk?
I was just gonna ask Paul if he's gonna take the Marshall idea to the meeting. You're on that group, right?
Yeah, I haven't been to any of the meetings, but I can certainly bring that to their attention.
Wow.
Why not?
Yeah, I think that's outstanding.
Next one's Thursday.
I got plenty. It's my second meeting of the week. We might as well put another one in there.
Wait, that could be a game that night, too.
I'll have to check.
Okay. All right, announcements, correspondence, Donna. Okay, I have one other, and this will be quick. I received on September 26th, again, we did not have a September meeting, and this would have been post the meeting anyway, from the Mass Historic Commission that they are now beginning a round of 2019 eligible applicants for the survey planning grant cycle from the Mass Historical Commission. We're very familiar with this as a group. We've applied for 3. Well, we've applied for 3 and gotten 3, but it took 4 applications.
The 4th one, not this, we did West Sutton and Sutton Center submitted Wilkes, but
Oh, correct.
prior to that, we got a survey and planning grant, and they're just not gonna give you every single
Right.
year unless you're in that,
And we just had the 2017 for Manchog.
yeah.
So I'm letting you know that there is one. If you come up with an idea, there is a method to their madness when they do issue, and it's usually not year after year after year. And I must say, this town has been exceptionally gracious in doing the 50% match, which allows you to get the grant.
You have to put 100% and they
Yeah, you put
reimburse
100 and then they do 50%. So, I mean, I'm thankful. And that is one of the reasons why this commission is having a lot less meeting time, because we've met our obligation and maybe we're getting the town to a certain degree of historical recognition where therefore we don't get as much in our table anymore. It happens before it hits us. How'd that sound? Okay.
So are you thinking that for 2020, we should start preparing to do Wilkes again?
Well, I think
Well, we
we
can,
did.
but I mean, our survey work is now like 10 years old,
It's older than that, Donna.
and it was not really complete when
No, we
we,
never did complete it. We went out on the road a few times, updated a few, but we probably did 60%.
well, I think that was more, in my mind, a test to see if we could do it ourselves. I think it's possible, but not probable.
Mhm. Okay.
So, I don't know, maybe we need to get a survey and planning.
Okay.
I'd also be interested in getting, oh, I can't think of the word I want. A lot of books I have a couple. The one that's the most impressive is Nantucket, which has restrictions because it's, you know, a local, the whole island is a local historic district. And it published, and it's old. I mean, this happened a long time ago. But it published design guidelines
Mm-hmm.
for people. And that might be a good thing to have, you know, for the planning board, for, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one of those things that it's probably last on the list.
Yeah, it's a lot of work to implement that too. A lot of,
So,
okay, well, we'll note that. One other, Jonathan Anderson, you're all familiar with him, previous member of the Historical Commission.
who?
John Anderson,
Oh, John, yes.
I believe he's our new selectman.
Yes, he is.
When's his first night, do we know? Well, I think in this room, I know you and I served with him. Did you, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
So-
2 years.
Nice to see a guy move up the ranks. All right, maybe it's your turn next.
You look
Yeah.
at.
I'm looking to my far right.
Nope.
Okay, congratulations, Jonathan. We miss you. And we know you always have that historical heart and place. You exhibit it in the planning board, and I'm sure you'll exhibit it with the selectmen. So we're thankful. Congratulations again. All right, is there any motions or anything on the table?
I can make an emotion to adjourn.
There's a motion on adjourn being
That was
seven.
That was an emotion.
To adjourn at 7:22 PM, seconded. All those in favor of adjournment? Aye. None? Aye, aye.
Aye.
Okay. We're done.